Welcome, everyone. It's so amazing to be here. Can you believe this is our first public event in New York? Yeah. So beyond excited. Words cannot describe, and I'm not speechless very often, but today is one of those days. I'm Mia Shah-Dan, in case you're wondering. I'm the founder of Women in AI Ethics, and we are hosting this event today in this beautiful space. Over the next few minutes, I will share with you who we are, what we do, share the amazing team that has been putting together this event for you. And then we will go into our panel discussions, and we have some really amazing speakers here today. So let me start with something that happened this morning. So I'm on the train trying to get here. And the train is delayed because there's someone on the tracks. And I'm thinking, as we're sitting there in the train, it's crowded, it's full, I hope they're okay. And then the NYPD got there. They said, NYPD's on the scene. And then I got even more worried. No, I'm just joking. They have a hard job. I get it. I'm not that worried about technology. Every day is a realization it's not technology that we're in danger from. It's just this lack of humanity or compassion for people. It's that everybody is in a rush to get to where they want to go. And just taking a few minutes, right? Just think about the other person is so important. So today morning was another reminder why people matter more than technology. So those of you who are new to Women in AI Ethics, can I just have a quick show of hands? How many people are new, like never heard of it? This is your first event, just getting here. Could you just quick show? Whoa. All righty. Okay. Welcome. I'm glad you made it today, not yesterday. There was some confusion there, but happy. We are here, right place, right time. What we are about is not about gender wars. No war of the sexes here. I know we're all about women, definitely. But what's at the core of what we do is this realization that the heart of every conflict is this disagreement, this fundamental disagreement between whose voices matter, whose lives matter, and who gets to decide, which is what we'll be talking about today and throughout the session today, and that's what Women in AI Ethics is all about. So that said, we'll get started. Just getting you grounded in why E? There are a lot of times that people just drop the E from a name, so it's like Women in AI. And I do want to share with you, before we even get started, why the E matters. Everyone's always asking, right? Where's the women? Where are the women? We saw this week. You saw the headlines. Where are the women? Exclusion is the #1 ethical issue in AI today. Just the fact that women are just being excluded, non-binary people, people of color, exclusion. So if you just look at the statistics, I'll just run through these. Most of you already know this. If not, this is just a refresher. So we account for 50% of the global workforce. 1/3 of the tech workforce is women. We are here, okay? Make no mistake, we are here. 25% of the technical roles are held by women. When you look at AI professors, 80% of them are men. Less than 20% are women. Only 18% of the authors, women, less than 5% of the tech workforce is Black. Women, less than 2% of VC funding goes to women. We are here, but we are not seen, we are not funded. E right here, that's the other E. Exclusion is a big issue by itself, but when you start erasing the work of women who are in this space, that's also a big issue that we're not talking about enough. So we've heard of Ada Lovelace, Grace Hopper, I like to just share that they are not anomalies. We look at them and they're pioneers, they're amazing, but they are very typical of women. I mean, there have been women since the 1870s. This is a Harvard computers. These are women who were processing the astronomical data at the Harvard College Observatory. Thank you, Dwight. They've been around. We've been around since World War I, World War II. Women have been working when men were away at war. So the United States didn't have a draft, so it was women. Guess who's working on all of the computing data? They were the original computers, but of course, men came back, women had to go back. They were relegated again to the shadows. In the 40s, again, computers were women. Heck, we put men, the first man on the moon. My apologies, I went too fast. In 1946. Women programmed the first digital computer. Any guesses as to who got the credit for it? Yeah. The media showed up and the women didn't get any face time. They weren't acknowledged. The man got acknowledged for the contributions. It's happening still today. This is not new. I'm talking about the 40s. I'm talking about the 60s. It's happening so recently. Women do the work, men get the credit. They're not quoted. Anyone saw this headline recently? Oh my God, where are the women, right? Look at this room full of women, and we are still having this conference organizers who think we should make up women, fake women. Anyways, I'll keep going because we have amazing speakers today and we do want to hear from them. So how does all of this manifest into the technologies that we're building? One is the AI assistants are more gearing to more stereotypical notions of what femininity is, like what women are like, docile, submissive. Amazon had to scrub their AI recruiting system. It's not just Amazon, there's just recruiting software that is biased against women, embedded bias. A lot of these biases show up in our search algorithms. I could keep going, but when you work in an organization full of men and they don't have the same ethos, they end up also using the same technologies against their coworkers. And there was actually a startup which was using surveillance technology on their own coworkers to harass them. This is very recent. A platform has introduced bounties for creating deepfakes of real people. You know who is harassed most online? Women, and also deepfakes are weaponized against women. So again, this is a huge issue and we are so not ready. The laws are not there. There are no protections for women. This is being weaponized against women and we need to be aware. We need to make some noise about it. I am a high-functioning introvert. I'd much rather be home with my cats. But here I am because things are really bad and we need to do something about it. And that's what we've been doing for the last 5 years. And I'll share more about that as we go along. It all started with a list, and we will be announcing the 2024 100 Brilliant Women in AI Ethics list. I'll share the genesis of that list very soon. But it didn't just come up. We didn't just get up one morning and I said, okay, I'm going to publish this list. It started in Silicon Valley. I was a tech blogger. I worked on digital transformation the way, right, but social media was so brand new and Netflix was still sending us CDs. There was no live streaming. Back in the day, I feel so old, but things have changed a lot. I'm also a founder. 15 years I've been running AI technology meetup groups. We didn't have women in front of it. But what we did was we made sure that women were all our speakers. We always made sure women are at the head of the room. So there's a fun story. How many people know Rosie Campbell? You do, amazing. She was amazing. Back in the day, when we worked together, we hosted the Berkeley Meetup Group. And she was then at the Center of Human-Centered AI with Stuart Russell, who's very well known in the AI space, one of supposedly the godfather. I don't like the name, but that's a moniker we're giving men. Her branding is pink hair. As you can tell, she has a bottle which is pink. And she had an amazing presentation on neural networks. And she asked me, hey, can I present? And I'm like, of course, let's do this. And she presented and gave this amazing talk. It was all pink. Even her accents were pink. It was all cats. It was such an amazing presentation on neural nets. A man who was sitting in the audience came to me later and said, I give these presentations, but this was the best presentation I've ever seen. It was even better than mine. So given the opportunity, yes. You might, thank you. Okay, thank you. Women have the expertise. They are experts in their field. Don't let the pink hair fool you. She is badass. She is at OpenAI now. She is working on AI safety and governance. A really cool person to know. All right, let's get started. Here's why we are here today. Today, we have an amazing panel of women who are experts in their own domains, and they will be sharing their expertise with you. Why? What is the focus of today's call? There are so many things we could talk about today. There are so many challenges ahead of us, but today we are going to focus on economic power. What is women's role in the economy? How can we make sure women are not falling behind? Why? AI automation is coming for women first. Men will be affected, make no mistake. We are all in this together. However, the automation will displace women first, so we are going to talk about that. Men are getting rich from AI, women not as much, they're not getting funded as much as men are. So we need to talk about that, have an open conversation. And also, why are fewer women using AI than men? Is another question, right? So all of that comes together with this one key issue we're facing is how do we ensure more the women are not falling behind, they're part of this economy, they can participate in this economy and thrive. So before I get started, I do want to some thank yous. I want to some thank yous. I moved to New York from California in 2021. This was my first snowfall. I was very excited to see snow, yay. But what I noticed was everybody looks at this beautiful scene, you see the snow, it's gorgeous, right? It's so stunning and serene. What I noticed was this pathway that somebody had cleared out for us, right? So we could walk through the snow and enjoy. And I thought about all the people behind the scenes who work on every one event that we put together, everyone who comes together to make this a success. And I do want to acknowledge everyone on the team, Lindley, Zalika, Biplov, Amit, Gabrielle, Elizabeth, Amal, Dwight, who's right here behind you, Microsoft. Donna is in the room. Donna, Seb, we couldn't have done this without you. Like, it's just the support has been incredibly powerful. Thank you so much. There are some women behind the scenes, right? For every successful woman you see out there, up there on the stage, there is a village, there's a whole community that comes together to support them, right? That they are up there because they're supported, they are validated, and they have a community behind them. And these are the women. Cass Matthew, I know you're in the room. And also Megan. Oh, hi, there you are. And then Ursula. She's the quiet one. I mean, she is such a connector. I don't think there's anyone in New York she doesn't know. She's very cool herself. And I am so grateful to have known you or to meet you. So here we are. I would like to now present our next speaker. Oh, I do need to let you know this is the non-glamorous part, who we are, how we fund things. We have a fiscal sponsor, Social Good Fund. So all of your ticket sales, thank you so much for buying a ticket, and thank you so much for donating. It all goes to our fiscal sponsor, and then we get a small grant to host these events. And Lighthouse 3 is my company. When I left the corporate world, I am a founder, and whatever is not made up by donations or sponsors, my company makes up the difference. And we are trying to change that. We want to be self-sustaining starting next year, and we're working on it. So today we have volunteers. Oh my gosh, the army of volunteers. They're so amazing. They showed up and despite the rain and came early and helped out with putting together this amazing event. Eve, such a rock star, stepped up, made sure that everything goes smoothly. I love your spreadsheet. We can nerd on that all day long. Shruti is in Berlin, and she is a volunteer and community lead, and she's a powerhouse too. And I feel like we are such a good shape. People are always talking about, oh my God, what's going to happen to our youth? And how are you going to, they're all on social media. And I have news for you. They're just fine. We owe it to them to do a better job. But the young ones are okay. They're great. Omidyar Network, I know there are folks from Omidyar here. Thank you so much. You're the reason we have cupcakes today. And not just any cupcakes, beautiful mini cupcakes from those of you who are in New York from a woman-owned bake shop, number one. We were able to pay our staff, who are all women and people of color. Every dollar goes to a woman or person of color, and Microsoft, of course. Thank you for hosting us in this beautiful space. Thank you for providing the catering and the support. We couldn't have done this without you. So appreciate you all so much. Board of directors, you know, we have published a list. We publish a list every year. So some of our board of directors also help with that, go through hundreds of entries to give us a list. But they also guide. They're like the North Star. They guide us to make sure that we are doing the right things by community. And this matters a lot because you need that support. You need people who are championing you and making sure, hey, I don't think this is right. Maybe we should do it this way. Such a help because it can get lonely. You can feel a little isolated. I do want to call out, we had some devastating news this year. One of our board members, very young, in his 40s, passed away suddenly. He left behind his beautiful wife and his child. I just want to make sure, acknowledge, is Sarah here? Is Sarah in the room? Hi, thank you so much for coming. So we'll get started. First panel, we have Eleanor, who will be leading us through talking about gender divide, and it's going to be a great conversation because we look at it from different perspectives of labor, policy, what can we do to make sure women participate. The second one is with a personal hero of mine, Alex Hanna is in the room. Super excited, and we have done some events before. Definitely someone I'm looking to hear from, and Angie Kamet is also here. Dean Angie is within by you. And we'll be talking about literacy, reskilling, and sadly, Tuba had COVID. She was getting on a red eye to come here last night from California. So I will be Tuba for today. I mean, I can't, yeah. Big shoes to fill, but I will try my best. Okay. So this is the time when I would like to invite Sarah Bird, who is a gracious sponsor for this event today. She heads up the Responsible AI team. She's a veteran at Microsoft. She's a pioneer in this space. She is the embodiment of both the smarts. Her title is Responsible AI Engineering Lead, but she is so much more than that. She is also a leader in the community. She helps host our events. She supports other women, and just she's the reason our community is a better place. So I'm so excited, looking forward to hearing what Sarah has to share with us. Welcome.